There we go. Oh, okay. So our zoomers, if you got cut off there, we're looking at, how memory is nonlinear, right? Human memory does not preserve life as objective, chronological order, factual precision, or perfect continuity. Okay? It remembers sensations and emotionally charged moments above all things. For example, the tree of life, right? The mirror, the after sun, symbolism, metaphors. They have everything to do with memories and how memories are fragmented and drifting and are emotionally associative. Like remembering life instead of documenting it. Memories are not stored as facts. They are stored as emotional weather. Some films feel less like stories and more like remembering a dream that you had years ago. And a good cut in cinema can behave like the human mind, skipping across trauma. All pertaining to why long takes feel different. The long take preserves existence. Fast cutting controls your attention aggressively. It preserves ambiguity. It preserves contemplation. And this is because our modern culture today, fears introspection. It fears that stillness, that uncertainty. But existential cinema uses that emptiness deliberately, because all that beautiful empty space allows thought, discomfort, reflection, and transcendence. It's what makes us human. And how dare Hollywood rob us of that, or treat us like we don't know how to do it. Silence in film is like staring into deep water. Eventually you begin to see yourself. I'll say it again. Silence in film is like staring into deep water, and eventually you begin seeing yourself. Cinema is sculpted consciousness through time. Okay? As filmmakers, we control the duration, the rhythm, the anticipation, the release, the psychological tempo. A great director does not merely show events. They alter the audience's internal perception of existence itself. The greatest films do not merely pass time. They change the audience's relationship to time. I'll say that again. The greatest films do not merely pass time, they change the audience's relationships to time itself. We are in an invisible contract with the audience, okay? What we show early on in a film, the audience assumes will matter later. So establish patterns and signals that teaches the viewer how to watch your film, right? There should always be this sense of emotional economy, if you will. You know, do more with less. Minimal dialogue and simple actions. Boy, they can carry deep emotional meaning when placed intentionally. And there's power in the unfinished. Unresolved elements create tension, and the audiences learn, and they lean in. They lean in. It captures the attention of your audience, and they lean in when something is left incomplete, because they're forced to interpret and think. There should always be a presence before loss. You know, build an emotional reality before introducing loss. Because without connection, loss has no impact. You want to get your audience established in a connection with your characters, or with, you know, the location, or the importance of a certain event happening. Create this yin and yang of memory versus reality. Scenes should feel like memories, even as they happen before their eyes. This creates subconscious foreshadowing and emotional distance. You know, these patterns are important, and the recognition of these patterns, you know, through repetition, it creates the expectation, right? And then breaking the pattern creates emotional impact. Far more than, you know, an explosion or big action sequence, as we said earlier. And there should always be some kind of quiet supernatural element to your film. Avoid over-explaining in a story. You know, suggest the supernatural just through behavior and tone, rather than even visuals or even exposition. This restraint creates power. Trust the audience. The less you force emotion, the more the audience participates in creating it. Let's look at characters. When you're making a character, focus on the character before the concept. What do I mean by that? Well, big ideas only really work when they're grounded in real human relationships. Right? The character of who you are. What's the character of who the character is? Character before concept. Another thing is meaning over plot. The story is not about what happens, but what it means. Focus on the emotional and thematic resonance. When we're writing a script, we ought not just be writing scenes. We are designing what the audience will carry with them after the film is over. Silence, stillness, mindfulness. It creates the emotional impact you're looking for, that you want, not only to feel yourself, but for others to feel. Think for yourself. Thanks for coming to class, guys. Sorry it was a little short. I won't be so late next time I come here. And I look forward to celebrating this term with you guys together. Because I will make amazing screenwriters and film directors out of each and every one of you. I have all the faith in the world and all the passion to teach you. And if you want to call that love, well then I guess I love you. All right, get the hell out of here. Yes.